Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm bringing you something I guess a little bit special to me personally. A GT500 car. As you know, I've already done the Tom's Castrol Supra and the Pennzoil Skyline. Loved them both. But yeah, I mean, this for me is when, you know, the Super GT's cars got absolutely insane with their big wide arches, huge wings. Yeah, so let's get into it and let's discuss it. So as you can see from the dealership, it comes in a Patronus livery for 800,000. So not really too much. I mean, when you think about the performance these cars give out, they're much better than a lot of, you know, million plus cars. Trust me, it may look like, you know, a pretty, you know, oversized GT3 car or oversized GT4 car, whatever. But yeah, the absolute downforce these things have got is just absolutely, you know, insane, which you'll see throughout this lap as we go around the Nordschleife layout. So let me just quickly explain if you're new here. I'm going to pretty much try and do this in every video because sometimes I forget and some people may not kind of get what's going on. Basically with this series, I get one hot lap around the Nordschleife layout of the Nürburgring with, you know, each car in the game. No upgrades, straight out of the box, no tuning, and basically we see how fast it is and it goes on our leaderboard. So we are getting to the point where we're up to nearly 20 cars, so I don't know what will happen to some of the lap times. Basically what I'm thinking is some cars may not actually appear at the end on the leaderboard, so what I may have to do is like a top 20 shootout to see if a car gets in the top 20. If it doesn't, we'll sort of look into the, you know, specific you know, each 100 performance point range to basically see where the car is and sort of, you know, figure out where it comes alongside, you know, cars of the same performance points. So why is this, you know, group of cars special to me? Why are GT500 and GT300 cars, you know, so loved, you know, especially amongst, you know, Gran Turismo players, you know, that have been around for a long time? Basically it all stems back to the original. As you may know, in, you know, foreign countries from Japan, there was never any coverage of, you know, what was it, JGTC at the time, or Super GT as it was known. So a lot of people's, you know, entry point into this series was through, you know, Gran Turismo. So even, you know, previously with like DTM machines and such, you know, they were quite sort of televised. They were sort of well known, whereas Super GT and sort of Japan seem to be quite inaccessible to a lot of countries, especially, you know, in the United Kingdom. Growing up, we didn't really hear anything from, you know, Japan or Japanese motorsport. So, you know, our entry point back in the 90s was basically Gran Turismo. So that is the one thing from Japan we got, was obviously the PlayStation and sort of, you know, Gran Turismo coming in, and, you know, game consoles from Japan have always been big for years over in the United Kingdom. But basically, racing game wise, probably the first time anyone saw a Super GT car could have been something like, you know, the Tom's Castrol Supra, the Skylines, the Silvias, the Honda NSXs with these big wide arches on. And I think just the look of them was like really unique. Like even at the time, like, you know, the NSX was an absolute awesome looking car. You know, especially, you know, but even back then it looked fast. It looked like one of, you know, basically a mini supercar, or even just, you know, a straight up supercar. That's what they looked like. And yeah, to see it there with its huge wide arches and a big white Mobile One livery, I think a lot of people's, you know, first impression of a Super GT car is like, these look absolutely insane. You know, why am I not seeing these all over? Obviously, when I was younger, I didn't even know it was a real championship. I thought there was, you know, sort of fantasy cars. Turns out they weren't. I think around about 2003, 2004, I became aware that it was a real championship, and I cannot remember for where I saw it. I think there was sort of a clip on an old DVD I had back then. I was like, oh my god, me being a kid, I was blown away by the fact that this car that I'd seen on Gran Turismo 3 at the time was there on TV. And then obviously, sort of as the internet's become more of a thing, obviously there's a lot of clips of Super GT cars around, and there's even full races, and I 100% recommend you watching the series. It's absolutely insane to watch, some really awesome racing, and obviously having the two different classes on track at the same time really creates some drama. So honestly, I just recommend watching it. I recommend getting into it. For me, it's one of the best racing series in the world. But yeah, it's pretty insane that people now can just jump on and get to know these cars, when a lot of us in the 90s and early 2000s didn't know these were real cars, didn't know this was a real championship. And I mean, I'm talking like we were kids back then. A lot of us, we were sort of growing up with Gran Turismo, where people that was older that were probably playing them games back then probably knew that there was real cars and probably knew where to look to find footage of them and such. But yeah, I mean, I especially remember like me and some friends back then that all played Gran Turismo religiously, finding out these cars were real just absolutely blow our mind. Okay, so let's get on to the part of talking about the car itself. There's also going to be a little bit at the end where we summarize everything. So first up, I'm just going to lay this into the sound of it, because for me, this car, this specific car sounds absolutely amazing. So obviously it sounds great. Like I think this is one of the most awesome sounding cars in this game. Really unique sounding GT500 car as well. None of the others really sound like this at all. Really like bassy sound, if you've got it through headphones especially. So what do I think of the car over a full lap? So I use these cars quite a bit in Gran Turismo, and I know they're not lacking downforce. Like that aero and these big wings, it's fully functional, trust me. There is moments where like the back end may twitch out, but it never feels like you're just going to lose the back end and put yourself in the barrier. There's always the grip there, performance and power. Like they're no slouch. Like going through, as you can see on the onboard, going through these tight sections, you can really push. I think top speed they're around about 175 miles an hour down the main straight, but the place they really shine is sort of in them high downforce areas where you can just get insane speeds out of these. I mean, like I said, it kind of looks like a GT3 car, but it's not. It's a lot more sort of insane. Like all the aero is functional. Like you can just push without sort of that grip break in there, and I can see why these are a group up from GT3 cars, and maybe sort of a group down from GT1 cars. For me, these are in the perfect group. Basically, there is a lot of downforce. They are very similar to the Group 1 levels of downforce, but maybe just a little bit extra. Like I said, I mean, they do like to twitch the rear end, where the Group 1 cars seem to just stick. But for me, these are some of the most fun cars to drive in the game. They're insanely lively. You get an awesome feel, and there's nothing cooler than sort of nailing them tight sectors at absolutely insane speeds that you just don't expect from these kind of cars. So honestly, definitely one of my favorites in the game, especially sound wise, looks wise. Lots of awesome liveries for it. So let's have a look into the lap times. So as you can see, overall we ended up with a 6 minutes 22.610. There are your individual sectors if you're interested in that. This has been added to my videos for a long time, recommended by a viewer. So 6 minutes 22, as you may recall, is a very, very good lap time. And it's pretty surprising where this might end up. I've got a good feeling about it. So here is your overall leaderboard, and it comes in 4th place. So as you can see, the top 2 cars are Group 1 cars, and well, less than 10 seconds behind 3rd place is this Lexus. And yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, over 20 seconds faster than the Vulcan, and you can see the old Super GT cars there as well in 6th and 7th. So absolutely awesome lap. So I'm sort of adding this section in as like a bit of an outro, so we can sort of summarize the video, and I can do a proper outro because sometimes I feel like I have to rush them. So overall, for me, this car is just 100% a must buy. Don't slouch on it, don't slack on it, and they are great for money grinding. I'm going to be releasing my guide for that soon. So I mean, that 800k, it's 100% worth it. Come and have some of the most fun you can in Gran Turismo. Trust me, you won't regret it. Also, a special Super GT series is going up soon. So, massive thank you to everyone that watches my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Thank you very much, guys. Take care and have a great day.